podcast, we have a special guest, which is Alo Reyes. Also, he has a YouTube channel, which is Honey Fire. If you guys ever want to check it out, it's also on the description. And welcome to the podcast. Thank you for joining us, man.
Did someone say my name was Alonzo?
Is it Alonzo, or how do I pronounce it?
It's Alo. It's just Alo.
Alo. Okay. I was like, there's something probably missing, so it's Alo. Cool. Thank you for correcting me. But I wanted to ask you, man, what started you on YouTube? Why did you decide to start putting out videos and content?
I got, my sister left and my brother left, and I got really bored. And I'd have these video ideas, but it'd be funnier. Like, the joke is funnier if you do it. So I just started doing them.
And I noticed that you have a lot of videos. I think your highest one was a recorder, and that's at least 8,000 views. I thought that was funny. Like you were saying, once you do it, people get the humor. And what advice would you give to people that are shy to put out any content? Because you are very brave in doing so, just putting it out there. People that are introverted.
Something that really helps me is that no one's gonna watch it. When you post something, it's not gonna go viral, and if it does, good. But if not, then I post a lot of garbage things, expecting 9 views, and it does. So then I just roll with it. The channel's more for me than anything else.
No, and I was gonna say, there was one video I saw that I liked as well. It's called The Trailer. So you have so he has a Super Nintendo, he has a PB&J sandwich, and then you put it in there once, you blow on it like there's a cartridge. My question is, what happened to the PB&J?
I ate it.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that it was working though. I'm glad you found the problem to the Super Nintendo.
Of course.
I wanted to ask, what is some future content you're thinking about doing? My main channel was like skits. Like, I wanted to do a bunch of like just skits, but right now I'm just doing I'm just playing games because we're all stuck inside. But I really wanted to. You ever watch the show Everyone Hates Chris? I have seen that show. Okay.
I wanted to do a parody on that where his day goes fine, except the last minute where he just gets stabbed.
I see. Okay.
The punchline is that, everybody hates Chris. He gets like milk dumped on him or something. But in this case, everything goes fine, and some guy just goes up to him and stabs him. I think that'd be kind of funny.
Pretty edgy. What would you say are like your influences in regards to like YouTube?
I don't know. I want.
Okay.
Probably not for that genre. I'd probably just say like 14-second memes just scattered around the internet. I think are really funny.
And doing that. And I was gonna say, you do have a work ethic, by the way, because you are putting out content. A lot of people don't really consistently put it out there, and yet you do have an audience. Whether people say it or not, you do have a following. I want to say, what motivates you to keep going?
It's I don't know. I just get bored. I feel like I already have a handful of people watching, and I think it's just more fun to do things when you're doing it with people. Like I play a lot of games on stream because I just think it's more fun to play it, whether it's one person watching or 4. It's kind of fun.
And I was gonna say too, I remember you were saying as well that you are from Hawaii as well. Is it something that around the area there's not much to do, or how do you feel about it?
There's definitely stuff to do, but I've done it already. So after that, it's like, yeah.
And what are your thoughts, Alo, in the future? Do you plan to stay in Hawaii, or do you want to go somewhere else down the road?
I don't know. I work at a pet store, and so my boss is retiring soon. He's thinking about liquidating the store.
Oh wow.
And so I'm trying to like weasel myself into his position. I want to own that business. I want to own the store. So if that ever happens, then I'm staying in Hawaii, obviously. But if not, I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty interested in programming, and I feel like I don't really need to be anywhere special to do that. Hopefully,
That's true.
because it's on computer. But if I do, then I'm not too tied to Hawaii. I don't really.
I see what you're saying with the pet store. And you say he's gonna liquidate soon. What type of plan would you have for him to be like, hey, I want to take over some ownership there or somehow get involved more?
Well, my plan so far, right, is that he's thinking about just selling it as stock and then just like giving the building away, because he's been running it since he was 19. He doesn't care. Place is falling apart. So my thought is that I'd be like, all right, show me how to do taxes. Show me how to do stock management. And then afterwards, when he starts to leave, I can be like, you know what? Yeah, I can already kind of do this. Why don't you just hand over the keys and I'll take care of your little child for you. That's my plan.
That's I'm kind of glad that you approach it that way, because there is a point where you're gonna have to voice it as well to like have I guess like a takeover, but at the same time you're not coming for it. It's not aggressive. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
in a way you're coming in a more humble approach is what I'll say.
Yeah, I like to think that he's more like mentoring me and like to take over, other than like stealing his spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never want someone to think like, oh, he's just waiting for me to die so I basically take over. Like, no one likes those thoughts. So I'm glad that you're thinking that way.
Exactly.
So I'm sure you're gonna ask him questions like, oh, have you ever thought? I don't know if you already asked him that question. Have you ever thought about like transferring ownership, or continuing your legacy with somebody else with the pet store?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have anyone in mind, which is good, because that means it could be me.
And yeah, sorry, go for it. My apologies.
No, I'm just saying his plan is just to just leave. He's 65 when he retires. He's done. Oh,
wow. And how old are you, by the way? If you don't mind me asking, Alo?
I'm 16.
Wow, man, you're 2 years away, and if it works successfully, that'll be great for you because you'll have a business under you. And it's great that you have an entrepreneur mindset. So that's dope. I can imagine an engineer with the pet store. Are you what animals does he have in the pet store?
It's mostly just fish. Yeah. It's sometimes we have bunnies, but it's a fish store basically. And
something that just hit me was like, maybe I don't know if you ever bought up a position or if he even has it online, his store. So maybe that's for you to, bring that up down the road or something.
Yeah, it could be interesting to try and start up like an online thing. It's just that it's like a very like local business. Like it's kind of it's a hole in the wall. So I feel like the people who shop there don't really. This guy called me one time and said he was wondering if we were the pet store. I said yes. He goes, oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't find your times in the yellow pages. And I'm like, oh, okay. No, people. I don't think they print phone books like that anymore.
I'm surprised he's using a phone book like that to look for you guys.
Exactly.
And I was gonna say, go ahead.
No, that's.
Yeah, I was saying the area you're in right now, is it are people computer savvy, would you say, or is it mainly like yourself or the new gen that are coming up in Hawaii?
You mean like the customers, or
the customer base and just like the local area and stuff like that?
Yeah, they're I mean, they find us on Google.
Okay.
They can Google us. I don't think they're that computer savvy though, because they asked me a bunch of questions that you could definitely just Google.
Okay.
So I feel like, they probably
They're in the middle. They're kind of there. I gotcha. And I wanted to say too. I see that you also have Gundams. What got you into that kind of hobby?
really like the show Evangelion Neon Genesis. You know that show? It's an
the
anime.
reason I know about that show is because the intro song has been done so many times for different memes. Corn in the house.
Exactly.
Okay, so I do know what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah. So hold on. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead.
1 minute.
No worries, bro.
So yeah, I really like that show. So I decided, I was like, I heard they had like Gundam themed, the show's about robots. So they had one. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna build that one, and I built it. And then I was like, well, that was pretty fun. So then I built another one, and it's just been spiraling out of control. You know?
How many models do you have so far of Gundams?
They're right over here.
Oh, sweet.
They're
Hey, they're dope.
It's I haven't counted them, but I have a lot of boxes just on my bed. I don't have anywhere to put them, so yeah, it's definitely been a snowballing hobby of mine that
do you ever find yourself repainting them or doing any final touches on them?
I'm starting to get into that. Before I would just kind of snap them together, put them on my shelf, but now I'm thinking like I can definitely do better. I'm getting really bored of I want to touch them up a bit, so I'm thinking about getting some paint and painting them all. That'd be fun. Yeah.
And you were also mentioning earlier in the video when we were talking about school, everything being done online. How has that been affecting you with that transition?
It's a double-edged sword, I think. It's really easy. Online school is super easy because the way they set it up, you can, like in regular school, you have an assignment, it's due the next day. But in online school, you have an assignment, it's due the next day at 11:59. So you can just take your time. So last quarter, I passed with all A's, so that's real good. But it's a double-edged sword in the sense that you can definitely just miss things. Like I fall asleep a lot, so I wake up and it's like, oh, there's an assignment due. Well, I don't know what the assignment's about because I went to sleep. Or you just miss a whole class entirely and then you get a point docked off. So that's definitely the hard part, but it's basically on me. I know people who wake up like a normal school schedule. I don't, because I'm doing my assignments at 11:59. So
last minute. And do you miss actually being in, I guess, like a school with everybody else?
I do. I miss my friends, but as far as like the classroom setting, I don't really care too much because you can definitely, there's a lot of distractions that are eliminated from being online school. If you're in a classroom, the teacher stops talking because someone else is talking, all of that. But in online, everyone's muted, so it's great.
But I hear you on that. And I was gonna say, what do you feel like with whole COVID-19 happening? What's the biggest lesson that you got out of COVID-19?
I guess my biggest lesson would be that I don't know, my biggest takeaway is I miss sitting places. I miss sitting at a McDonald's to eat my food. That's it, because because I work at a pet store, things are essential because you have to feed your pets. Yeah. So I've been outside. Yeah. Pretty frequently, so I don't really have I'm not really shut in per se, so it hasn't really affected me too much. But definitely school, I guess.
Oh, definitely with the school part. How do you feel like regulation is in Hawaii with this whole social distancing? Do you feel like people are respecting it, or is it strict?
Yeah, it's weird. It's It's kind of a mess, honestly, because we opened things up. I don't know if it was like this everywhere else, but we opened a lot of things up. Malls were open, just wear a mask. But then apparently, like, things just spiked. So then they're like, all right, close everything down. But you can still go to the beach, but you can't go to the gym. But you can go to a park, but not with other people. And then it's like, okay, so you open things up, you close them back down. But then you open up the weirdest niches. It's like, I don't understand. You either close them all down, or natural selection.
No, I hear you, bro. It's so random. Here in Cali, it's like you said, some beaches here are open, but then you're like, then why is indoor dining closed? If you really think about, here's another one. Before I get to the one, airplanes. I just saw a picture recently of my friend taking a flight, and everything literally is like booked. And I'm like, where is the social distancing? Where is all this? So like, certain things are opened up, but it doesn't quite make sense because people could still catch it. But then it's like you're saying either shut down everything or they only do 50-50.
Yeah,
which is only hurting certain businesses.
Definitely, yeah.
I was gonna say, man, what is a place you would like to visit down the road, and why?
Well, I want to go to Japan. I think that's
Japan.
There's a lot of
Gundams, more Gundams.
Yeah, Gundams, anime, sushi. I like Japan. They make some pretty cool things there. I definitely want to go before.
Oh, it opens up again. With you were mentioning about anime. I remember going to Anime Expo in LA. I don't know if you guys have any expos in Hawaii or anything like that.
We have Kawaii-Con.
Wait, what is that? Never heard of it. You said Kauai or Hawaii?
Kawaii-Con. What
is that?
It's like an anime expo. It's just a bunch of nerd stuff, anime, video games. That's it. I went there once. It was okay. It was interesting.
Very cool, man. Nothing. And I never mentioned anime. What would you say is your top 5?
Ooh, top 5 anime. Evangelion, of course. It's a good one. Toradora.
Okay.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's a good one. There's my top 3. I don't.
The other two would come because I noticed you had some. I don't know if it's Naruto in the background that you have there, or maybe it's a different thing.
Oh, yeah. I'm a very weird person. I went. You know what Don Quixote is? Do they have that in California?
No, I never heard of that.
Don Quixote is it's like an Asian Walmart, basically. And they had an anime section, and it was just, they had $1 for just a poster. It was just posters of some random anime. And I thought it'd be funny to buy like 3 of them. So I don't know what anime this is. I just thought it's funny to have it.
And I was going to say, what is your current game that you're playing? Is it Among Us by any chance?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely playing Among Us. I'm sad though.
Why? Why are you sad?
Because not a lot of people are playing it now. All my friends are kind of like tired of it, but it's like I think it's because I'm just too good. They don't want to play with me because I'm good. My Among Us strategy is to, as crewmate, it's just to speedrun tasks.
Gotcha.
And then just kind of follow someone I know who's innocent, and then use deductive reasoning, right? But as imposter, I like to. Okay, my pathing is always electrical first, right? If we're playing on scale, I go electrical first, I vent, and then I go around to see if anyone's around. And then when I kill people, I close every single door. Yeah, that's it. Okay. If you close every single door, you get about 10 seconds on your cooldown. You can vent away, go to nav, kill someone there, go back to electrical, walk out electrical. People saw you go to electrical, so you're all good.
Ah, I see.
Real good. Yeah.
So, and are you much into board games by any chance?
Not really. No, I haven't really played board games that much.
Because I think you'll be perfect for a game. It's called Coup, and basically you use deductive reasoning. You pretend your roles, and then you kind of play to kill off each person. I think you'll be perfect for that game. But I was going to say fun as well, what do you feel is like something that you've been wanting to do since this whole quarantine has happened, that you've been aching? If, like, say they were to take down this whole, like, say there was a vaccine already and you're able to go out and about, what would you do first?
Yeah. Ooh. I want to. That's a good question. I want to go fishing again. I know I can go fishing, but I just haven't gone because what's the point right now? I'm just gonna wait.
Can fish catch COVID? I don't think they can. I don't think it'll be okay.
I don't think they can. Nah.
And the reason I say it is because I don't know what the restrictions are on fishing.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's like an individual thing. I don't know how popular it is too, where you go fish. So maybe that's another thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like there shouldn't be too much of a restriction on that, unless you've probably experienced it already.
I don't think there's a restriction on fishing. It's the part where because I fish on a base, it's on a military base because it's like a harbor. I fish at Pearl Harbor. So it's real deep and it's real easy to fish there. So I don't know if they're just gonna close the whole harbor down.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. Certain places you fish at, there's a whole boat dock. I don't know if the boat dock's closed.
I see.
So that's why I've just kind of just not been going. But yeah.
How long have you been fishing for?
I used to fish a lot with my dad, and then he left. I didn't go fishing for a while. I just picked up fishing recently during COVID, because when everything started to open up again, I'm like, all right, we're going fishing. I go fishing by myself. It's a real fun activity, and this is during the summer. And then they close everything down, so I'm like, well, I guess I'm not gonna fish now.
That's insane. What do you feel? Yeah. What was your biggest catch when it came to fishing? Any sharks?
Nah, my biggest catch would probably, it's just like these like bottom feeder fish called veke.
Okay.
They're real meaty, and I like to eat them. They're real good. It tastes like tilapia. You ever had tilapia?
I had tilapia. Okay.
Yeah, it's like tilapia.
Okay. And do you also do the whole process of skinning it and all that? Yeah.
Just in the sink, just scale it and then put that in some oil, make some rice.
Sounds
bomb, all good. It's all good.
Might get some afterwards. I was gonna say, what is your preference of the choice? Like, use a fishing rod or use other tools to catch fish?
Yeah, I use it was interesting. I went fishing by myself. This guy pulled up. He was like a kind of older.
Yeah.
Right. And he was like, "Hey, you mind if I fish here?" I'm like, "Nah, it's fine." And he gave me this telescope rod. It's just a stick. And it somehow it's better than a reel. You just dip it in the water and they just bite. I don't know how. It's just magic. So I like using that. It's literally just a stick, but it gets the job done really good.
Interesting. What advice would you give to some beginners in fishing?
They should learn the polymer knot, because it's the guy who pulled up taught me the polymer knot. Before I was just knotting my hooks.
Yeah.
And that's not very strong. The polymer knot is the easiest knot to make, and it's the strongest. It's real easy to tie. Yeah. So
very cool.
Go learn that.
Nice. And I was gonna say, for an introvert, what do you feel like would be the best advice in regards to starting their own hobby or business or their own channel? What do you feel like? What tips would you give them?
My tip for doing any endeavor is that you're gonna have a lot of room to screw up, because like I said, no one's gonna see that. So you can go ahead and just do whatever you like, and then when you find something that you like, you can pick that and go with it. Like the recorder covers, that was all my channel was for a few weeks, and I'm like, okay, well that's boring now, so I stopped doing those. But people liked them, so that was, I didn't think recorder covers were gonna get that many views. I just did them because I thought it was funny. But when you get bored of that, just move on. Just don't do anything because you think it works. Like recorded covers seem to work, but I got bored of it, so I didn't do them anymore. So just do what is entertaining to you. Yeah.
I see. Because it was interesting too how you brought up the recorder, and it's in a way like there's trends that happen on YouTube, and then you just kind of follow. Like you're saying, for you it was entertainment, and then eventually as you got bored of it, you moved on from it. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And how about the haters, man? Do you have any? Do you feel on YouTube?
I don't think so. No. If people are like, that video's stupid, that was a dumb video, I kind of agree with them. Like, yeah, you're right, that was really dumb. So I don't really like have haters, because I kind of agree with them as well. I mean, I like what I put out. Don't get me wrong. I think I'm kind of a comedic genius when it comes to YouTube. But I see where they're coming from. So I don't think too much about them, about that.
I like how you have that confidence, bro, where you're like, you put it out there, you understand yourself that it is funny what you put out. There's a certain style of humor, but you don't allow it to affect you in any way. You just keep it moving, knowing that at least you got a comment off of that and people were able to respond. And that's probably the best thing that anyone can do if they're trying to start something, is you don't take it so hard. You're going to have people like that. And what do you feel like is something that you're gonna do that's on top of mind next week? What's the first thing you're gonna do? Like, what's a goal for you next week?
Ooh, next week, I wanna finish Outlast 2. It's a game I've been streaming. I want to finish that game because it is Halloween. I want to do I want to play at least like a few horror games in this month. So next week, I'm gonna hash that out.
Perfect. I like that you said that. It's the perfect game. It's Outlast, and that's more. Is it like an escape horror game kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a lot of running. You don't have a gun or anything. You just kind of run away from crazy people.
That's intense, but it's good that you're doing that, bro. Like, I was gonna say, what is your strategy to that? Putting it out there, just putting Outlast, or you can do some kind of like algorithm thing with the title or on the thumbnail?
No. So, sometimes I tag things, like I made an Among Us video. Obviously I'm gonna tag Among Us. Come on. Like, yeah, that's a given. Yeah. But as far as like what I'm putting as the title, I'll put anything. If the title is funny to me, that's what it is. So I don't worry too much about like the algorithm. Like, I'm not a hard algorithm like beater per se.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned earlier too about computer programming. What software have you been learning, or what is ways for you to like develop as a computer programmer?
Right now I'm in computer science. So we're learning JavaScript, I believe. Okay. We're learning JavaScript. So yeah, that's what I'm learning. I also kind of fiddled with robotics a little bit. I made this like...
Oh, that's dope.
I made this really... Oh, what is this? This really garbage 3D printer thing. Cool. I haven't touched it in a while. It's real dusty. I need to get back on working on that. So
for that 3D printer, were you able to get it to work, or was it like in a working process?
Yeah, it's a work in progress right now. It works, it moves. The only thing I really have to do now is hook up a 3D pen. The idea is that, it turns on the motor, and then you just give it directions of it's like 3D printer. It's basically you're just just putting a 3D pen on this machine, and it's just doing the work for you, instead of having like all the 3D printer set up. You know, it's real like rudimentary.
Wow.
But I haven't finished it. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I know you were saying like in the beginning of the video, like how you're kind of bored and you're able to do all these things. I feel like it's a benefit to you because you're experimenting with a lot of things, computer programming, you're doing your own YouTube channel. You're obviously doing this podcast for the time for that. And have you ever thought of how much of a blessing that can be at the same time? And you're learning how to. Oh yeah. You basically have some survival skills that I don't even have, bro. So. Yeah,
definitely. I feel really I feel blessed. I feel really lucky to have like my mom. My mom will support anything if it, I mean, within reason. But like I had a mealworm business where I raised mealworms and I sold them to people on Craigslist, people who had chickens, and that made a good bit of money. She supported me buying 1,000 mealworms and putting it in our apartment. I can buy all this weird stuff and she doesn't really, mind, because that's, she just watches it and hopes that it benefits her one day. And I agree with that, Wow,
that's a great mindset, a great mom as well. That's crazy to hear. Yeah. You're racing, you said earthworms or baitworms?
Mealworms.
Mealworms.
The real brown ones, yeah.
That is crazy. I didn't even think of, you're already experimenting with like certain business ideas. Definitely, like as you continue to do that, you're gonna go far, that's for sure, man. Because for someone your age, you're already doing that. Like most people aren't even, the best I can say is like you said earlier, not failing at it or even trying or even making an attempt. But since you're touching different things, I'm sure that you're going to figure out what your why is or what your thing is, Alo, down the road, which you're going to have advantage over a lot of people. Because people like my age, I'm going to be 26 soon. I'm starting to figure out what I want to do. But as you keep failing, that's the biggest thing I learned. You're going to find it eventually.
Yeah.
Last question before we wrap up the podcast. I wanted to ask you, what are you going to do about the branding of Honeyfire? Do you feel like you want to make it a brand for the YouTube channel? What's your plan?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lose the name. There's always gonna be Honeyfire, right? I don't know about branding. If I do anything online, it's gonna be probably under that name. So that's probably all I have right now as far as like spreading the name. One thing I do feel about the name Honeyfire is that it's kind of stupid. I don't know, but also, the biggest YouTuber is PewDiePie. So, I don't think about it too much. Yeah.
I see what you mean. It does bring a certain uniqueness to it. So yeah, it could definitely go far with that. But I wanted to say, Alo, definitely appreciate you making time to do the podcast. Were there any shout outs that you want to do or any final words before we wrap it up?
Yes. For my sister, if she's watching this, the one who called, me and my brother rebellious, who always get in trouble, that's Cap. That's Cap. All right. She's a snitch. All right. She got us in trouble. All right. So that's all I want to say. I'm clearing me and my brother's name right now. That's Cap, and you know it. So many times we do the most menial things, and you call our mom and get us in trouble. That's Cap. So that's all I want to say.
Jerry adjourned. Thank you so much. And guys, if you want to check out his material on YouTube and any other future things that Alo's going to do, he also has an Instagram that I'll put on there, and you can just check him out and see any future content that he's going to put out. I just want to say again, thank you, Alo, and hopefully you have an awesome day, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This was fun.
Of course. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.